Hey everybody. Okay, so we are on lessons two. We're actually going to combine lessons two and three here in module two. Today we're going to talk about mean and median. So I am on page 10 of your workbooks. And so what we have here is we've been given three sets of data. We've got data set one is about pet owners, how many pets that they have, and our data is all right here. Notice that this kind of is laid out like it looks like it's almost like a frequency table or something, but it's not. These are each individual data points. So they interviewed this many people, and there's all their answers. Same thing over here. This is the length of a hallway, and then this is age of cars right here. So there's all our data right here. And so what we're going to talk about today is we're going to talk about mean and median, and we're going to talk about what those things are and which one is appropriate based on the shape of the data. Okay, so mean, let's just take a couple of side notes here. You know what mean is. Mean is what you know as the average. Okay, and I also want to put into your mind, and we'll talk about this more in a minute, I also want you to think of this as like the balance point of the data. Okay, so we're going to talk more about that in a moment, what that actually means. Whereas your median is your middle number. Okay, so that requires you to put the data all in order, so it's in numerical order, and then you basically are trying to find the middle number. So average, average is, you've been doing this for a few years now, so average is where you're going to add up all your data, and then we're going to divide by the number of data points. Okay, that's how you find your average, and we're going to let the calculator do all this, but it's important that you know. And then for median, it's going to be our middle number. So what they want us to do is they want us to take all this data in these three data sets, and they want us to create dot plots out of them on the next page here. So let's jump to the next page, and let's actually go ahead and do that. So I'm going to tell you how I'm going to do it, and then I'm going to pause my video here, and I'm going to do the rest, and I want you to do the rest also. So let's talk about how to create a dot plot. So you're going to have to flip back and forth between page 10 and page 11, but basically what we're doing here is we're going to put a dot for every data point. So for example, if we look at the pet owner data, the first four are all zeros. So that means I'm going to have 4 dots at 0. And then the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 are all 1. So that means I'm going to have 10 dots at 1. So on and so forth. So I want you to go ahead and pause this, and I want you to do all 3 dot plots for all 3 of these, and then I'm going to come back, and I should have mine done too, and we'll take a look at them. Okay, so here are my dot plots. So hopefully you've got something similar to this. Oops, I got to grab the wrong thing there. Yeah, so okay. So here are my dot plots. The next thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and calculate the mean and median of each of these data sets, okay? So actually, before we do that, let's take a look at the distributions here. I think that from yesterday's lesson, I think you would say that this first data set, most of the data is on the left-hand side, and we have a tail to the right. So we would probably consider this to be skewed right. And then in this middle piece, we have sort of more of a bell shaped. We have more of a bell shape. So I think we're going to go ahead and we're going to call this one normal. This is going to be important. We're going to call this one normal. And then the last one, we see that most of the data is on the right with a tail on the left. So we're going to call this skewed left. Okay. So now the next thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and calculate the mean and median for each of these data sets. So the way you would do that is if you were to do it by hand, you would put in you would add up every single one of these data points. So you'd have 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, so on and so forth. And then you would divide by the number of dots. Well, we're going to let the calculator do that, and I'm going to show you in class how we're going to actually put that in the calculator and let the calculator do it. For now, just write down what I get. And then for median, what we would have to do is we would lay all these numbers out in order and we would find the middle number. Well, the calculator can do that for us too. So as it turns out, for this first data set, our mean ends up being 3.2, and our median ends up being 2. For the second data set, our mean ends up being 8.57, and our median ends up being 8.55. And then for this last one, our mean ends up being 5.84, and our median is 7. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to actually look at this and I want to analyze this. I want you to notice that if I came up to you and showed you this data and said to you, hey, how many pets do people have on average? Or actually, let's use a different phrase. If I just said to you and said, how many pets do you think people normally have? I think most of you would pick a number down in here somewhere because that's where most of the data is. Notice that our median is 2, which is kind of right here. It's kind of a nice representation of this data. Our mean is 3.2. That's way up here. I don't think that that's the best representation of the data, but what's happening is our mean is being skewed right. It's being pulled right by these outliers way up here. That's why the data is called skewed right, because the mean is actually very affected by these outliers, and it's getting pulled higher than it should be. Look at the normal distribution. Look at these numbers are almost the same. If I said to you, what is the most likely length of the hallway? You would probably tell me that it's in this general area, somewhere between 8.5 and 8.6. And as it turns out, there you go. Your mean and your median are right about there, right in the middle of these two clumps of data. And so with this normal distribution, we see that the mean and the median are pretty much the same. And then when we look at this final set of data, we notice that most of the data is over here on the right-hand side with a tail on the left. And if I asked you what is the most likely age of a car, you would probably say something between 7 or 8 years because that's where most of the data is. And if we look at the median, we see that it is, in fact, 7. But the mean is way down here in this general area. And so again, because of these outliers on the left-hand side, your mean is actually being skewed to the left. It's actually being pulled lower, hence skewed to the left. Okay, so what does that mean then in the end here? So let's wrap this up. So what we find is that if our data is skewed, if we want to choose a value that best represents the data, we're going to go with the median. In both cases where the data is skewed, the median is actually a better representation of the data because the means are too affected by the outliers. They're skewed, in this case higher and in this case lower. And so the mean is not a good representation of the data when the data is skewed. However, when the data is normal, then we see that the mean works just fine. And so we say that if we have a normal distribution, then the mean can be the best representation of the data. So in class, I'm going to show you how to enter all of this data into your calculator so that you can get these calculations very quickly and simply. But your job is to understand that if the data is skewed, we're going to use the median as the best representation of the data. And if the data is normal, we're going to use the mean as the best representation of the data. So I'll see you in class.